Let's move on now to the fourth message today. And the fourth message today comes to us from Billy Posey, who writes, "Who in a movie's production decide what's in a trailer? I remember an interview with Leonard Nimoy talking about how upset he was when he saw the Enterprise's destruction in the trailer of Star Trek III. When it was presented to him, I always wondered why didn't he have them change it since he is the director?" All right, thanks a lot for the question, Billy. And yes, this is a question that gets brought up a lot. And we've addressed it a couple of times, but people still ask about this. Aren't directors in charge of the trailers? The answer to that question is no. Directors aren't in charge and actually have no say in the trailers. Now, there are a couple of very, very rare exceptions. Very rare exceptions. In the case of like a Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan, who has all the power in the world, in his deal with Warner Brothers, he gets to veto. I don't believe he puts the trailers together himself, but he has veto power over what does and does not go into a trailer. I believe Guillermo del Toro may also have that deal with one particular studio. But for the vast majority, the general rule of thumb, though, is that no. With the very, very odd and very rare exception, directors have no say in what goes into the marketing. Why? They're the directors, yes, but the trailers are not the movie. The directors make the movie, but it's not their job to then sell the movie. Directors are filmmakers. They're not marketers. They don't understand marketing. Most directors don't know the first thing about marketing. And by the way, the production company is not the company that does the marketing anyway. It's the distribution company. The distribution company decides where this movie's going to go, for how long, what the terms of it are, and they are the ones that look after the trailers and the marketing. They're the distributors. They're the ones who decide how we're going to sell this thing. And that's an important thing to keep in mind. Now, take for example, this. Guillermo del Toro's film, The Shape of Water, right? Won Best Picture at the Academy Awards. It's a great film. Guillermo del Toro had a lot of power over those trailers. There's a reason that movie didn't even make $200 million. That great Guillermo del Toro movie that won Best Picture of the Year, I don't believe it even made $200 million. Let me just double check this just to be sure. Hold a second. Shape of Water, box office. $195 million. It didn't even make $200 million worldwide. Why? Because it wasn't the best marketing campaign and it wasn't the best trailers. If the distributor really had free reign to let a trailer house go nuts, you probably would have seen this movie make $350 million because they would have marketed it better. But they didn't. And at the end of the day, that's kind of what matters to these guys. So in a situation like Leonard Nimoy, why didn't he change it? Because he didn't have the power to change it. You know, we hear a lot of different examples about directors who are unhappy with trailers that get made because maybe it gave something away they didn't want to have given away, but that's not their call to make. It's at the discretion of the distribution company because they're the ones who need to bring in the money. They're the ones who need to bring in the money, and their job is to sell the film. Hey, director, it's your job to make a great film. So you worry about making a great film. That is your job. That's your role. Make a great movie. Our job is to sell that movie. You stay in your lane, bro. You make a great movie. You don't know squat about marketing. You don't know squat about selling. Leave that to us. We will go and sell the movie. We will go and make sure as many people as possible will come and watch this movie that you made. You make, we sell. That's kind of the arrangement. And there are a lot of people, look, I get both sides of the argument here a little bit. There are a lot of people who want directors to be in charge of the marketing. It's their movie. Well, yeah, but again, they don't know squat about how to sell something. That's not their field. That's not their expertise. There are people who've made an entire career out of studying, analyzing, and knowing how to sell. So they're the ones in charge of selling. The drawback of that, of course, well, the positive side is that marketing campaigns get made that bring in more people to the theaters than if the director put a trailer together. The drawback, though, is sometimes we get trailers, as we're seeing, that maybe give away too much of a movie. I mean, that's been a growing concern in the last number of years, is that sometimes trailers give away too much. And that is something that a lot of us worry about. So the upside of that, you stay in that lane, we stay in this lane. The upside is you get more effective marketing campaigns that make more money for the movie, that gets more movies made. Excellent. The drawback is that sometimes things get put in the trailer that the director wouldn't have wanted in the trailer. Maybe they give away a few surprises the director didn't want to give away. So it's a little bit of give and take. So yeah, generally that's how it works, is that the directors don't have any say, and there are a few specific exceptions to that. Maybe 4 or 5 or 6 directors in the business are big enough that they can actually get that kind of pull, but for the most part, they can't. So anyway, I hope you find that helpful. Let me know your thoughts. Jump down in the comment section below, guys, and let me know what you think.